Welcome to Origon, the agentic operating system that lets you design, deploy, and observe AI systems all in one place. Studio is where you build and deploy. Sessions provide system-level traces of every interaction. Insights help you understand overall performance of the system. In this overview, we're going to focus on the basics to get you started: how a system is structured, what each component is responsible for, and how the architecture works underneath. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how everything fits together and an idea of what you might build next. So, with all that in mind, let's switch on over to Origon and begin. Here is a completed system inside the studio. Every system in Origon follows the same structure. So once you understand this layout, you'll be able to translate your ideas into real systems. On the left, you have your input layer, such as channels and triggers. In the center, the root agent. To the right, the agents responsible for specific tasks. And connected to each agent are the tools that let them interact with your data, your services, and your logic. If you've used other builders, you might be used to long chains of conditions and flows. Origon works differently. Instead of long sequences, you define roles, responsibilities, and the tools available to each agent. Now let's walk through each part, starting with the building blocks you'll use the most. Up top, you'll see communication channels, APIs, automations, agents, functions, MCP connectors, knowledge bases, and apps, which are coming soon. To the right is your Origon Assistant. It's context-aware and can answer all your questions or help you optimize your system. At the top is chat, where you can test your system while building, interact via text or audio, or seamlessly switch between the two. Now, let's go back and take a deeper look at each part of the system, starting with the input layer. Input nodes are how tasks enter your system. Voice, chat, email, and messaging apps are channels for human interaction. The API and automate nodes are triggers for incoming system calls or scheduled activity. Regardless of the entry point, though, everything flows into the same reasoning engine. At the center is the root agent. It's the brain of everything. It's the gateway between users and agents. It's responsible for interpreting inputs, delegating parallel execution, maintaining memory and state, and formatting and aggregating the outputs. Inside the root agent, you'll find system instructions. The root agent is aware of the entire network graph, so it's best to start with very minimal instructions to get started. Complexity can always be added later if you want to change the behavior. Next up is guardrails. This feature is coming soon, but once it's available, this is where you'll turn on things like moderation, PII detection, jailbreak prevention, and hallucination checks. These guardrails are designed to keep your system safe, compliant, and adherent to policies. Then there's continual learning, which is also coming soon. When enabled, the agent will learn from its interactions and then create memory and skills to improve its own performance. And last, summarization. This controls how each session is summarized in the sessions view. You can leave it blank and rely on the system's default, or you can customize the structure and specific information you want included. So the root agent handles coordination and management. Now let's look at the agents that actually execute tasks. Here I have an example of a support agent. Its capabilities describe the task it's responsible for. So in this case, troubleshooting, password issues, and ticket updates. This tells the root agent exactly when to invoke it. These agents have their own primary and fallback models. Below that are the agent's instructions. Short, direct, and specific to how it should behave. Now, let's look at the tools that give this agent its abilities. This support agent has 3 tools connected to it: a knowledge base, an MCP integration, and a custom function. These represent the 3 tool types in Origon. Knowledge bases give your agents built-in memory and context. You can upload files, links, or folders, and the agent can reference them to output accurate and consistent responses. Next, MCPs. These connect your agents to external platforms through one-click integrations. Large integrations often expose many actions, but you might not need all of them. Narrowing the scope uses less tokens and keeps the system fast and secure. In this CRM example, the system can only create, update, and delete tickets. Nothing else is exposed. And then there are functions. Serverless functions let you run custom code natively within the platform. You'll use these functions when you need an integration that isn't in the MCP connectors. This specific function handles password resets. In the description, you can define what the function does and list any arguments the agent needs to provide when it uses it. Below that is your code snippet, which can be written in either Python or JavaScript. Now, let's take a look at sessions and see how this plays out when the system is live. Every interaction flows into this view. You'll see the full transcript, a structured summary, and under logs, a trace of each and every step. You can see which agent handled each step, what tools were called, latencies, tool usage, and any errors. You're not guessing at what happened, you're reviewing a full record. Insight then takes all of that data and shows you long-term patterns. This is where you get a macro level view of overall performance of the system. So that's the foundation. Studio is where you design and deploy. Sessions, where you observe and then debug. Insight, where you understand performance. Every system you build follows the same structure. Inputs, a central coordinator, specialized agents, and then tools that give them functionality. Once you understand this, you can build almost anything you can imagine. Conversational agents, internal copilots, automated workflows, or even backend for your apps. The best approach is to start simple, watch it in sessions, and then iterate and expand from there. That's all I've got for now. I can't wait to see what you build. Thanks for watching.